Welcome back. It's absolutely a fascinating seesaw in this battleground Bihar, with both sides switching sides back and forth. Once again now, just look at those numbers. The Mahagathbandhan, which had actually drawn level with the NDA, or the NDA had actually pulled up right up to where the MGB was, now has slightly pulled away. That's because the JDU, as we've been saying, is pulling the NDA down. And these are the numbers that you see the smaller parties actually doing quite well. The CPML, the CPI and the CPM for the Mahagathbandhan. Similarly, for the NDA, the smaller caste parties like the VIP, the HAM are doing well. But the big story coming out is really, in a sense, the decline of the JDU, and also the question of whether the Congress is holding its own, because it's actually contesting 70 seats, but it's only leading in 25, and it's actually down 2. So could there be two kind of weights or poor performance, or relatively poor performers in either of the coalition that are making this quite a close contest? We'll have to see how that unfolds. But Shekhar, and Dorab is also here with us. Supriya Srinete of the Congress is with us as well. Now, Shekhar, I mean, of course, it is very close, and we'll have to see how it unfolds. But should one at least give Tejasvi credit that he's made it close? Because there was a point where it seemed like it was going to be a complete NDA wash, but he's made it competitive.
Yes, Sib. Are you asking me?
Yeah, yes, Shekhar.
Yeah, certainly it's been made competitive. It's also been competitive, on the other hand, by the issues within NDA, because LJP going away is a setback to the NDA. And for quite some time, you could see that the BJP was almost contemptuous of LJP and Paswan. Paswan had a cabinet position, but really no power. He had no idea what was going on. Nobody told him anything. So that dent, in fact, it's more than a dent. That chip fell off NDA, and
right,
that has made a difference. But certainly, Tejasvi has now emerged as another leader in Bihar, as the other pole, and the absence of Lalu, who's in jail, who's also aging, etc., is not being felt at all. The other thing is that unlike in Uttar Pradesh, where Akhilesh's succession to Mulayam has never been clear, in the sense that all his party has never accepted it, and even the Yadav family has never accepted it, between the fathers, brothers and cousins and so and so. But in Bihar now, there is a clear second party, and Tejasvi is a leader of the other alliance in Bihar. Who comes to power, we'll see by this afternoon, late afternoon. But certainly you've seen the rise of another pole in Bihar now. And Lalu has a successor, not just as in terms of the family ticket, but also in terms of leadership qualities, in terms of attracting a large enough mass of people.
Okay. Dorab, would you also agree that, we'll have to see how it all plays out, but that the fact that the RJD now might be emerging as the single largest party in Bihar from where they started off before these elections is quite creditable?
The biggest surprise we've seen in the last 5 or 10 years, in terms of a person who thought is almost retired to Delhi, suddenly comes out and starts this enormous surge in support.
Yeah.
I think another point I'd like to make is that when we look at MGB and NDA, we should mentally add LJP to NDA, because Paswan, the odds are they'll work out some relationship whereby Paswan does go with the NDA.
Sure.
So I think the numbers are looking very, very close. But you're right. I think this is a rising star. His father's not around. He has no support from his family. I mean, in terms of they aren't opposing him like in case of Akhilesh.
Right.
But he's brought this up all by himself. And at this age, I don't think there is a parallel in Indian history where a man who's done it all by himself, no parents, no brothers, no sisters, all by himself.
Okay.
At the age of 31.
Right.
That's the staggering thing. At the age of 31.
Sure. Prannoy.
Yeah, but there is a bit of a problem there which we've been discussing, Dorab, to add them when he has been actually part of the problem for Nitish, not only politically, but also in vote cutting. He's only stood in where Nitish seats are. He's attacked Nitish throughout. To just add that, both politically and I'm not sure whether,
bear it in mind.
as they say, anything can happen. But politically, it's, I would, it'll be a very tough thing for him to accept Nitish as Chief Minister and for Nitish to be not Chief Minister and to accept him as part of a coalition. Keep thinking of Maharashtra, where you've got, where the BJP, but if he retires, the party, will it carry on? It's a very, very tricky situation. In Bihar, and the BJP will have learned lessons from Maharashtra, and again there is a similarity. If anything, if it gets anywhere, it will be a very narrow majority, disgruntled, unhappy main coalition partner, and as Shekhar said, it's anybody's game. Once you don't make Nitish Chief Minister, he could go anywhere. So it's complicated and it's above my pay grade.
But we have KC Tyagi with us, Pranoy.
Yes, let's ask him.
So
Oh, great.
KC Tyagi is senior JDU leaders with us. Tyagi ji, thank you so much for joining us. Earlier we found you were talking to our colleague Himanshu Shekhar and you more or less kind of conceded defeat. You said coronavirus ne hara diya hame. Are you still conceding defeat? Because it's not over yet.
देखिए, इतने सीनियर जर्नलिस्ट बैठे हुए हैं
जी,
मैं बहुत विनम्रता के साथ एक चीज कहना चाहता हूं कि एक साल पहले क्या परिस्थितियां थी। हम एक भी सीट आरजेडी को लोकसभा में नहीं मिली। लोकसभा के चुनाव के नतीजों के मुताबिक आरजेडी प्लस 218 सीटों पर चुनाव हार रहा था। अगर कोरोना क्राइसिस ना हुआ होता तो ये प्रणव जी 1918 के बाद का मानव जाति का सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज है। ऐसा कभी नहीं हुआ 102 सालों में। 1930 की जो मंदी थी, ये उससे बड़ी मंदी है अमेरिका की, यूरोपियन यूनियन की, इंडियन इकोनॉमी की। खाली चीन को छोड़ करके सब अर्थव्यवस्थाएं ध्वस्त हो गई। भारत एक विकासशील देश था, लेकिन उसमें बिहार की स्थिति अन्य राज्यों के मुकाबले में, आप खुद बासु घूम करके आए हैं, नहीं थी। बंटवारे के बाद ना एक बड़ा शहर बचा, ना इंडस्ट्री बची, ना कोल माइंस बची, ना स्टील प्लांट बचे, कुछ नहीं बचा। वहां पर ऐसी परिस्थितियों में लाखों लोगों का जब पलायन हो रहा था, WHO भी, प्रधानमंत्री भी, ICMR भी, सब लोग कहते थे कि जो जहां है वहीं रहे। ऐसा ही नीतीश कुमार जी ने कहा, जिसको प्रचारित ये कर दिया गया कि नीतीश कुमार जी उनको वापस नहीं आने देना चाहते। मैं आप लोगों से पूछता हूं, नहीं एक सेकंड, मैं आप लोग जितना इंपॉर्टेंट पैनल है, मैं पूछना चाहता हूं, एक साल में तेजस्वी यादव ने, आरजेडी ने क्या किया है जो आप लोगों ने उनकी लहर दिखा दी, दैट हियर इज ए मैन टू बी वॉच्ड, ही इज प्लेइंग हैवक विद द बिहार पॉलिटिक्स। कुछ भी नहीं हुआ। 3 महीने तक वो अपने घर से नहीं निकले। ये सिर्फ और सिर्फ कोरोना की जीत है। ये सिर्फ और सिर्फ कोरोना की जीत है।
So Tyagi ji, what do you think of Chirag Paswan?
नहीं, चिराग पासवान के बारे में मैं इतना ही कहना चाहता हूं कि वो इसमें 2005 देख रहे थे। उस समय मनमोहन सिंह जी प्रधानमंत्री थे, वो रेल मंत्री के लिए शेखर गुप्ता जी गवाह हैं, उस समय में बैठे हुए हैं यहाँ पे। उस समय वो रेल मंत्रालय के लिए अड़े हुए थे, उनको रेल मंत्रालय नहीं मिला। वो भी और लालू जी भी दोनों उसी मंत्रालय में रहे। 2002 में चुनाव हुए, 29 सीटें उनको मिली। उन्होंने मोदी मंत्रिमंडल से इस्तीफा दिया था और वो सेकुलरिज्म के चैंपियन बन रहे थे। उन्होंने चुनाव लड़ा कि मैं मुसलमान को चीफ मिनिस्टर बनाऊंगा, उनको 29 सीटें मिली। हंग विधानसभा आई, उनके एमएलए टूट गए। फिर अक्टूबर में चुनाव हुआ, जिसमें नीतीश कुमार के नेतृत्व आप और शेखर गुप्ता जी पटना में मुझे मिले थे। मेरे को याद है, रविशंकर के घर पर ये भी चुनाव चल रहा था। लिहाजा वो लुप्त हो गई। वही जुआ, वही दाव यंग पासवान खेलना चाहते हैं। रामविलास 40-45 साल के आंदोलन के बाद नेता बने थे।
त्यागी जी, आई थिंक प्रणॉय ये पूछ रहे हैं
जी
कि वो हो गया जो हो गया, अब देखिए इस वक्त वो करीब 8 सीटों में आगे हैं। अगर एनडीए को उनका समर्थन लेना पड़ा सरकार बनाने के लिए, आप और नीतीश जी जेडीयू मान जाएगी?
देखिए, ये एनडीए के दोनों बड़े नेता प्रधानमंत्री और नीतीश कुमार जी तय करेंगे, उस पर मैं कोई वक्तव्य देने की स्थिति में इस समय नहीं हूं।
नहीं, बट
what do you feel? Should you accept Chirag Paswan as part of the coalition NDA? Should you? What is your personal view?
प्रधानमंत्री is on record.
To form a government.
प्रधानमंत्री is on record on saying on many occasions that NDA exists in Bihar under the leadership of Nitish Kumar. Who does not accept the leadership of Nitish Kumar, he is not the part of the NDA in Bihar. That was very clear. Even BJP president, he was also on record on saying this on many occasions in Bihar.
But that is...
So you're saying they cannot get together? They cannot get together? What do you feel?
The kind of hatred campaign he was launching against Nitish Kumar, we are very hurt. Even the political opponent of Nitish Kumar throughout his political life, nobody dared.
You cannot forgive him. Can you forgive him, or you cannot forgive him?
Crime. It is for the Narendra Modi and Nitish Kumar ji to decide.
So can you forgive him? Can you forgive Chirag Paswan? Or you cannot forgive him? Can you forgive him?
This is for the top. This is for Nitish Kumar ji and Modi ji to decide. I am not the deciding.
No, what do you feel? Yes, they will decide. What do you feel? Can you forgive him?
No. I have been a close friend and associate of Ramvilas Paswan. I have full respect for Ramvilas ji. We fought together for many causes in Socialist movement as well in Janata Dal for the Mandal also. But sorry to say, Chirag would not have done all these things what he did in the Bihar election. This is very unfortunate and we are hurt.
Is even Nitish ji hurt? Nitish ji को भी चोट पहुंची इससे? त्यागी जी.
Every worker of JDU is hurt by the statement which was making during the election campaign. This was not a political language. We were fighting against RJD against Congress. We fought against Congress on many occasions, but we did not make any personal comment neither against Rahul Gandhi or Rajiv ji or Indira ji. What to speak of Jawaharlal Nehru above all. This is not the way that we will send him to jail. Are you capable of doing it?
That was very extreme. But if you say that okay, young people can mistake.
They were together.
Yes. Can you? Young people make mistakes. Can you? If he comes and asks your forgiveness, will you give him? Will you? If he apologizes and asks for forgiveness, will you accept him?
I am
to stay in power
again and again. This is for Narendra Modi ji and Nitish Kumar ji to decide. What they will decide, it will be acceptable to all of us.
Prannoy, sorry, can I just come in for 1 second?
Right.
Just, Prannoy, just look at the numbers.
Yeah, please.
Just look at the numbers.
Wow.
Very interesting
look at that change. Wow.
NDA is now at 120.
Wow, and BJP has become the largest party.
MJP 106. BJP is the largest party at 70. It's leading in 17 seats. Huge change.
Gain in 17, yeah. Wow. That
RJD
is
down 11.
Amazing change. Wow. That is a complete turnaround.
So with Chirag 6,
maybe some
you have
new
crossed the halfway mark.
Yeah.
Along with LJP 120 plus 6, 126.
No, in fact, NDA is 122 now on that graphic on top. My gosh, yeah, 122. They're majority on their own. They don't need the youngster at the moment.
Yeah.
So that is a sudden switch around. Wow. Dorab, you predicted this.
Only 30 seats have counted more than 3 rounds.
So this will keep changing. Wow. But if anything,
yeah, it will keep changing.
I mean, if there's a bump, which Shekhar talks about, the bump at the, I mean, if this carries on with more and more rounds, this is a huge change in the last few minutes.
Correct.
Wow, look at that, 123 to 103.
Yeah.
That is a complete swing in seats as more and more votes, rounds are being counted. 123 to 103.
123 is the majority.
So, Tyagiji, all the questions I ask you may not be relevant anymore.
Then you may ask some new questions for the future.
Right. Can I ask Tyagiji?
Correct.
Tyagiji, I just want to ask you slightly naughty question that even if you form a government on your own now, you will be a pretty junior party. JDU is only at 46. BJP is at 71. In this scenario, would Nitish Kumar want to be Chief Minister?
देखिए, इतने सीनियर लोग इस पैनल पे बैठे हुए हैं
जी,
जो नीतीश जी को भी मेरे जितना ही जानते हैं, इंक्लूडिंग श्री योगेंद्र यादव। ये एनडीए का एक बाकायदा घोषित पैक्ट है, नंबर कम हो या ज्यादा हो। और दूसरी एक और चीज मैं आपसे कहना चाहता हूं, बहुत विनम्रता से, आधी मिनट में, नीतीश कुमार के बारे में जिस तरह का कुछ लोगों ने प्रचार प्रसार किया, मैं उससे भी हर्ट हूं। अपने जीवन में उसने एक बार सिर्फ साइड चेंज की है, मायावती जी ने कितनी बार की है? बीजेपी, सपा, कांग्रेस एंड व्हाट नॉट। और मैं 1 दर्जन और पार्टियां बता दूं जिन्होंने साइड चेंज किए। सिर्फ 2015 में नीतीश कुमार ने एक बार साइड चेंज किए, और जब चेंज किए तब भी वो मुख्यमंत्री थे। मेरे सेकुलर मित्रों को ऐतराज हो सकता है, मुझे कोई अफसोस नहीं है उसका, लेकिन ये कहना कि उसने दल बदल दिया कुर्सी के लिए, एक बार नहीं। मैं आज एक और चीज और ऑन रिकॉर्ड कहना चाहता हूं, विच इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। प्रणव जी, जॉर्ज फर्नांडीज के घर पर मीटिंग हो रही थी 2005 में। जॉर्ज फर्नांडीज, नीतीश कुमार, शरद यादव, ललन सिंह, माई सेल्फ, 6 लोग बैठे हुए थे। 15 एमएलए टूट करके आने को तैयार थे। एक सीनियर लीडर ने कहा कि नीतीश जी कुछ पैसे की व्यवस्था करनी होगी। नीतीश कुमार खड़े हो गए कि अगर पैसे से खरीद करके ही सरकार बनानी है, सॉरी, आई एम नॉट अवेलेबल टू यू। तो ऐसा नहीं है, वो आदमी सिद्धांतवादी राजनीति का हिस्सा रहा है। 2014 में कौन नहीं हारा था? कांग्रेस हारी, हम हारे, आरजेडी, सपा, बीएसपी, सीपीएम, एवरी पार्टी। एक नेता था देश के अंदर जिसने मुख्यमंत्री पद से इस्तीफा दिया कि जनता का मैंडेट मेरे साथ नहीं है। तो इतना भी मलायन किसी आदमी को नहीं करना चाहिए। आप और शेखर जी तो मुझे 4-5 बार पटना में मिले हैं, हम लोग डिस्कस करते थे। ही इज द लास्ट पीस ऑफ सोशलिस्ट मूवमेंट। कर्पूरी ठाकुर की विरासत को लेकर के चलने वाला, जितने मेरे और सीनियर लीडर में किसी का नाम नहीं लेना चाहता। परिवारवाद है, वो आपको बुरा नहीं लगता? जातिवाद है, वो आपको बुरा नहीं लगता? डायनेस्टिक सक्सेशन है, वो आपको बुरा नहीं लगता? नीतीश कुमार ने इनमें से कौन सा गलत काम किया? एक करप्शन का चार्जेस पिछले 10 दिनों को छोड़ करके उस पर किसी ने नहीं लगा आज तक। लोग ईडी के सामने खड़े रोज सोशलिस्ट होते हुए भी। आई एम सॉरी टू से।
Okay. Supriya Srinath of the Congress is also with us. We're going to get Yogendra Yadav also in just a second. Supriya, in this seesaw now, just look at that. NDA has surged ahead. They're now at 125. So they're now actually 3 above the halfway mark. MGB is slipping, and that's one of the reasons, Supriya, the Congress is actually seriously underperforming. You're only leading in 21 of the 70 seats you fought, and questions will be raised whether you should have even asked for that many seats, and whether your leadership once again failed to run the strong enough campaign that you needed to. Tejasvi ran it. The Congress didn't.
So 2 quick observations. I'm going to wait for the final tally before I really give my verdict as far as how we should have done and not done. I think these are trends, and the trends are seesawing, like you said. Every hour we see a different number. Let's wait for the final tally. But as far as the Congress's own performance is concerned, I have one thing to add here. When the Mahagathbandhan is being assessed, we need to be assessed together, just like you assess the NDA together. The brickbats are all for the allies and the bouquets are all for Mr. Modi is not an acceptable solution, simply because this election was fought by the NDA on Mr. Modi's face. His face was plastered all over the state of Bihar. He crisscrossed the state, did rallies, he wrote emotional letters. They tried to polarize the elections, got Pakistan and every other inane issue involved. The reality is,
Supriya, the BJP is doing very well.
The Congress party.
Sorry, when you say the BJP is doing extremely well.
But look at the issues this election tried to raise. This election was fought on issues of joblessness. This election was fought on issues of development. This election was fought on issues of high prices. And on those issues, it looks like the allies and the allies is not doing well. So to blame Nitish Kumar for all the wrong performance and single out the BJP for the right performance, I don't think is a very wise move. I think it's being unfair to the larger numbers that are going to come. Let's wait for these numbers. I still don't accept that this is going to be the final tally. The final tally will be far more favorable to us because I saw in the state of Bihar people favoring issues that we raised. The BJP did try and polarize the campaign. There is no doubt about it.
Okay. Lalita Kumar Mangalam is also with us of the BJP. Lalita Kumar Mangalam, BJP doing very well. NDA is looking quite comfortable at the moment. Again, these are leads. They could change. But would you say that while you're doing well, your alliance partner being dragged down, some believe is something that you're not entirely uncomfortable with, that the BJP was actually silently backing people like Chirag Paswan who are attacking Nitish Kumar again and again?
No, it's been made very clear time and time again. As Mr. Tyagi said earlier, the Prime Minister has made it absolutely clear, all our leaders have made it clear when they campaigned in Bihar, that the NDA in Bihar would be led by Nitish Kumar and that we would come to power. I agree that it's very early days yet. I mean, there is a long time to go. Hardly about 5 or 6 rounds have been counted, I think. So there is some time to go. But the early leads seem to show that the BJP and the NDA will make it through. And it will be Nitish Ji who will be our CM. I don't think there's any doubt about that. With regard to Chirag Paswan, he's still very young. He's just started out. Of course, he'll make mistakes. He probably will grow in the future. And the same thing could well be said about Lalu Yadav's son, whom all of you were tom-tomming as the next chief minister. But let's see, it's still very early in the day to count who's going to be a partner with whom. We are very clear that if the NDA comes through, and we expect to, Nitish Ji will be the CM again. Regardless, you know that election campaigns nowadays have become very bitter and a lot of very unsavory things are said, which should not be said. But anyway, that's over and done with. So let's see what the results show. I think by about 2 we'll be clear about what's going to happen.
Yeah. Yogendra, it's just great to have you. I say this, and I've said it many times, even behind your back. You're the finest mind on elections I have ever come across. I wish you would still remain a psephologist. However, you're on to better things in life. But tell us, now what's happened? It's suddenly all changed. Can you explain what you see? Do you think it can change back, or the lead, like Shekhar pointed out once, the bump is now with the BJP and the NDA, and it could get even wider? What's your assessment? Bit difficult on lack of data, but just gut feel.
Yogendra?
कौन है?
I don't think Yogendra.
He probably can't hear you.
It's a long delay.
My sense, Dr. Roy, is that we should wait. This is really early, and the way the trends have fluctuated in the last hour or hour and a half, we should certainly wait for a little while before we conclude anything.
There's a very long delay with you. So please go ahead. Give us an overview
so
of what, what the current situation.
We should still focus on the big picture. And I thought the best thing would be to I mean, I must personally begin by making a confession. This is one Bihar election that I have actually not followed very closely. All the elections in the past I did follow closely till the last one, but this is one election I did not. And instead I wrote a piece for Shekhar in the print saying why I could not get myself invested in this election. And I said simply three things. Number one, Bihar is no longer the epicenter of North Indian politics, which it used to be. Number two, state elections are no longer an indicator of the national mood, which they were about 10 years ago. And three, sadly, elections are not the real happening place in politics. I'm sure Shekhar would not agree. But that's the big picture. In terms of the trends that we have today, one thing we can conclude is that there is a clear that the Lok Sabha trend has definitely reversed. That simply does not hold. That picture is different from the way it looked at the beginning of this election when it seemed like BJP sweep, NDA sweep. That's all we can say as of now. Things keep changing. That yes, at this moment, NDA looks like to be in almost majority. But as Dorab reminded, only 30% places have reported second or third round count. So I would really wait. This is longer, hopefully not as long as it was in the US.
Yogendra?
Right. And
Sorry, go ahead, Pranay.
Go ahead,
So, Yogendra, I just wanted to ask you.
No, I was just.
Yes.
Go ahead, please,
Yogendra, I just wanted to get your take on two things. I know you said you haven't been following this election, but number one, would you say that regardless of the outcome, at least there is some credit to Tejasvi for making this election competitive? Number two, there was a lot of talk about how that this might actually be a kind of relatively more caste-neutral election for Bihar. But if you look at these numbers, does this actually indicate that perhaps might not be the case? That actually both sides are sort of playing to their strengths, and the NDA has always had a significant advantage when it comes to its social base compared to the Mahagathbandhan? Yeah, it's just the lag which is.
RJD has definitely made this into a serious contest because if you look at how things looked at the beginning, it looked like almost a clear one-way sweep for the NDA. So much so that the BJP tried to play that too clever game by trying to cut Nitish to size. So they clearly were extremely confident. Compared to that, what we see right now is a close contest, and certainly the RJD should get some credit for that they have managed to make a contest out of it. On the caste question, I really always think that it's not caste or something else. It is through the prism of caste that people look at issues. It is through the prism of caste that they see development, that they see other things. In this election, unemployment did become something of an issue. We are yet to see how well it played out. So I would really think maybe another hour or so, and we should be able to draw firmer conclusions because we really don't know the trend. And I still would put some trust on the 2 or 3 decent exit polls, which have suggested that it is advantage Mahagathbandhan. So one has to really wait.
Right. We are just trying to, Yogendra, trying to fix the delay in your audio. Meanwhile, if we can look at the maps, if we can look at the caste maps of Bihar and the current who's leading in which area, you may get some idea. As Yogendra said, and I think Sagarika also said earlier, this is an election of caste plus. Of course, I think Yogendra put it beautifully. People look at development through the prism of caste. But they look at jobs, they look at everything at caste plus. Now, Bhojpur, that's in the extreme west area. Here the Mahagathbandhan is doing very well, up 19, so it's really strong in this area. Let's have a look at the NDA really down, and I think Vasu mentioned earlier that's mainly because of the LJP eating into the JDU vote. East, this is a 33% Muslim area, and the Mahagathbandhan is doing appallingly badly. It was doing well here earlier. Here, 33% of the voters are Muslims, the highest percentage of Muslims in Bihar, and the Mahagathbandhan is suffering. Maybe the Muslim vote is split. We know that Owaisi has also floated a party. Magad, the largest sector or region in Bihar, 68 seats, and the Mahagathbandhan doing better than the NDA, leading here. But I think so far the real surprise, actually the East and West are surprising, both of them. But particularly the East, the Muslim belt, where the Mahagathbandhan is doing extremely badly. Let's look at Mithila. How's that doing? Here the NDA, again, Mithila has got a fairly high, it's just next to east of Bihar. It has a fairly high percentage of Muslim votes. And the NDA doing extremely well, and the Mahagathbandhan has really almost down to half what it was, from 18 to 10. A big decline there. And then this is the upper caste area, Tirut. Largest percentage concentration of upper caste and in this area, and the NDA is really doing well here. Almost twice the number of seats of the MGB, 44 to 25.
One reason.
So Yogendra, yes. It does, I think the point that you made, this caste plus, that is, people look at election issues through the prism of their caste, but not only caste, and you feel other issues did become important this time, like jobs, I don't know whether corona or not, and the migrants. No. Yogendra, is there a delay or still?
Corona, I'm actually not sure. KC Tyagiji has been speaking about it. I'm really not sure if Corona was an issue. And I'm not sure if the plight of the migrants became much of an issue. The difficulty is that migrants are scattered all over the state. Can you hear me, sir? Can you hear me, Dr. Roy?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm getting a fallback of my own voice. I'm sorry, we need to make a technical correction. Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, we'll come back to you. Most people actually love hearing their own voice. Only Yogendra's modesty. We'll come back to you when that gets solved. Vasu, so the trend continues. The gap is still very wide.
One of the reasons why...
let's go to Sanket at the BJP headquarters. Sanket, the mood must have changed very suddenly in the BJP headquarters, right?
Yes, Dr. Roy. As far as the BJP is concerned, initially, so let me tell you how the BJP usually prepares. Any election that they're winning or losing, this is a party that always tries to project right from the very beginning this air of positivity and that they're winning by a 2/3 margin. So that level of confidence has always existed in this new BJP. So they've got stalls in there, the netas will come in, there'll be assigned rosters, they will speak. In the morning, they were, let's wait for the trends, let's wait for these things to come in, results are still trickling in. And the moment these numbers flipped, suddenly the very same BJP spokesperson said, see, we told you, this is going to be the result. So you see that spring in their step now, as far as BJP spokespersons are concerned. However, celebrations have not begun, because the internal calculation of the BJP is that the celebration must not be premature and they are willing to wait till about 12 to 2. It's unusual because usually the way these EVMs are counted, you get a fair idea between 10 to 12. But this time around, the BJP says that they would wait for these trends to normalize and stabilize between 12 to 2 to decide their next course of action. One quick things, in fact, I was speaking to a lot of leaders inside, some of the quick points that they seem to be raising. They do acknowledge that the JDU has not performed as well as the BJP has. The BJP has outperformed its performance of 2015. JDU has gone down. So the BJP is pulling this alliance up. For the first time, a JDU sees itself in a weaker position. Now that gives a little bit more leverage to the Bharatiya Janata Party if there is a situation of a possible government formation. Where does this leave Nitish Kumar? I asked this question, Dr. Roy, remember the question that you asked me just a short while ago. I asked this of senior leaders inside, that what happens now? Will Nitish Kumar still remain your chief minister? They said yes, it's a poll promise. We went according to this promise. He will be chief minister. But at the same time, if we don't deliver now, then it will be very difficult for us to win the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. Because it seems that the BJP realizes that there was anger during the past 8 months against them. It did not translate into a vote loss, or it may not. Again, early days, nobody knows what is going to happen. But then, if they don't deliver now, it will show its impact on the 2024 polls, though it's still far away. So while BJP is hopeful that they are going to sail through as far as numbers are concerned, this is an election machinery. This is a party which is very closely monitoring, and if things go pretty much the way they do, then obviously you won't see empty streets right here. This will get populated very soon.
Right.
We'll come back to you then very soon.
This is, actually, if you look at it right now, BJP alone is now at 71. So it is the number one party by at least 10 seats. Overall,
Right.
the NDA is at 129. So they are now really with the momentum. And this, in a way, Dorab,
Yes.
this is a kind of dream scenario for the BJP, because you're now heading towards the possibility of forming a government, even though your ally is underperforming. And for the first time, Dorab, the BJP could be the number one party in Bihar. Across the Hindi belt, they've been at pole position in Rajasthan, in Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh. Bihar has always been a wall for them. Now it appears that even that wall could be breached.
Because I can't see any other party overtaking. They're just too far ahead. I mean, I think you're right, they've breached the wall, and I think that is going to have an impact on the negotiations. I mean, how can you have a party with, say, 30, 40 MLAs, another party with 90 MLAs, and, 40-party MLA providing the chief minister? I mean, it's going to be a very, very, I don't think the BJP would have wished this, because it puts them in the kind of uncomfortable position that no party wants to be put. It's a decision nobody wants to take as to what do we do now? How do we fix this one? But the BJP is really shooting at it. There's no question about that. But still, don't forget, more than
You can go back to
150 constituents, they only counted 4 rounds out of 16. But I think the trends do look clear. The bump comes much later. Actually, I'm trying to figure out with Namrata when the bump comes, Shekhar's bump. When that comes, we're waiting to see.
I think Yogendra is back without delay. I hope so. Yogendra, you can hear me now?
Yes, I can, Dr. Roy. Can you hear me without any delay? I'm sorry about all the technical
What a relief.
things. Yeah. It
No,
turns out
it's
that I
not
was
you.
indeed
It's,
running NDTV on my laptop. So I must be a big fan of your channel. I was running in 2 places. So that's been corrected.
What is the delay on the laptop? Okay. No problem.
Yeah.
Just to understand your perspective, we've seen 4 elections since 2019, and the BJP has lost votes in all of them. They will have lost votes here. The average vote loss has been about 17% in these 4 elections. That's Delhi, Jharkhand, Haryana, and Maharashtra. But here it probably there will be a negative swing, because the BJP held 91 seats in 2019. It's down to maybe 70, 75. But it won't be that 17% drop. It will be like a 7% drop. It's a very encouraging sign for the BJP that they are winning a state assembly election on their own. And they're going against two trends. One is anti-incumbency from a chief minister who's been in power 3 times. Historically, there's only a 5% chance of winning a 4th time. And the fact that they don't have Modi as a factor in a state election, going against all that and still winning a big change.
If that turns out to be that way, of course, BJP has reasons to be happy with that. I'm not so sure about the vote percentage. You would know
we'll change our story.
The vote
if it changes, we'll change our story.
I don't know how close, how robust the vote percentages are at this moment, because the polls, exit polls, said that NDA could get anything around 42%, which would be about 12% of drop. So we should still expect, in any case, from national election to state election, even in normal circumstances, even when the same party wins, there is a drop of vote. That does happen. So I would not know. Yes. I must also say, frankly, I'm actually surprised with the trend that we are looking at right now, because it does. I cannot claim to have any intuitive sense because I did not travel. I have no intuitive sense this time. But it doesn't fit in with what some of the credible polls had told us. This gap seems to be increasing, then you could say that this is likely to hold. But it is indeed surprising. All we can see is BJP doing much better than expected, and Congress doing much worse than Congress. JDU was expected to do badly, but Congress is also doing pretty badly right now. The left seems to be doing relatively well. I just quickly looked at the regional picture. It seemed to say that areas where the left is strong, namely Bhojpur, and some of the central Bihar areas, there the alliance seems to be doing relatively better. So the left seems to have helped the alliance, but the Congress doesn't seem to have helped the alliance very much, because in a sense, left does bring something to the table. In Bihar, it's not clear what is it that Congress brings to the table. That may be hurting, but I really think that we should wait a little more, because this is counterintuitive.
Yes, I agree with you.
It is surprising.
It goes against all the exit polls. It goes against the earlier trends dramatically. So one should not conclude that this is the final picture. Totally agree. It's a very good health warning. But Yogendra, if this is the kind of final picture, what is the situation that Nitish is in then?
Then the BJP's game is successful. I personally thought BJP was playing too clever by half a game. They were so sanguine that they are going to win, they are going to do well, and this was a perfect opportunity to cut Nitish to size. If this tally holds, yes, they have cut Nitish to size, and they have managed to win. I personally thought it was a very dangerous game from BJP's point of view. From the point of view of alliance ethics, this was not the kind of game any alliance partner would want you to be playing, and we heard K.C. Tyagi about some of those things. But yes, if this current situation holds, BJP has played a very tricky game and has succeeded in it.
Can I just say one thing?
Amazing, amazing.
Can I say one
will
thing,
Nitish be just one last question? One last question to Yogendra. Will Nitish still want to be chief minister? Will he say yes? I think the only reason why I lost is because Chirag Paswan cut into my votes. Otherwise, I would have also done well, and I don't mind being chief minister. Or will he say, look, I'm about half of what the BJP is. How can I be chief minister? What's your understanding of his makeup, his intention will be at this time?
Want to be should not be much of a question, because I think Nitish Kumar has left nothing to imagination about his desire to be in power. If he could desist coming to power in 2014-15, he would have been a very important prime ministerial candidate of the country. He could have been the biggest face against Narendra Modi. It is Nitish's desire, almost a compulsion, to be in power at any cost. which is what, has in a sense reduced his national stature. So yes, he would wish to be in power. And as Shekhar was saying some time ago, he's a very consummate political player about these things, and he knows how to turn disadvantages into advantages. So the only question we should be asking is whether BJP would wish to, and we just heard the BJP spokesperson saying they have no doubt. In that sense, this would have been a mission accomplished for the BJP. Nitish still in power, but more as a puppet, cut down to size, his significance reduced, and and opening the way, paving the way for eventual BJP's takeover in Bihar. That's what BJP would like it to be. And at this moment, it seems to be headed that way. But as I keep saying, in case of Bihar, we should really wait a little longer.
Wait.
Hello.
But you don't see a Maharashtra type situation here.
Can I say one thing, please?
I don't think. You see, Nitish
in a second, now, Sagarika, 1 second.
2015, they did try that, and it did not work. It bombed completely, that experiment. That Mahagathbandhan, RJD and JDU. Nitish knows that while BJP is playing all kinds of games with him, he is somewhat secure in his chair. With RJD, he doesn't know which way things are going. So I doubt Nitish can do anything. He is a player. K.C. Tyagiji has more faith in his ethics than I do. Probably he knows him better than I do. But Nitish can do anything. I think you can, in this game, there's nothing that he cannot do. But given that he has had a stable tenure with NDA, despite his anger, despite everything, he may wish to continue. But that's a wild guess. Who knows him?
Can I just make one point?
Sagarika.
Don't discriminate against women.
No, you can make 5 points.
Don't discriminate against women. It's not Manel. It's becoming a Manel.
No, we have Lalita Kumaramanglam.
We have
switch
off her
mic. Supriya Srinath. It's not a manner.
Only the men are talking.
It's not a manner.
I just want to say women. Remember, Vasu, we were saying in the last time we spoke, the constituency of women that Nitish has cultivated. And I would love to see the result that comes out, towards the end when we have a clearer picture as to which way the women have gone. Because I have, my research is telling me that, in fact, the NDA gets 4% extra vote share of females than male voters. And, as we were saying earlier, that the Nitish has cultivated the woman voter. He has cultivated a slew of schemes for women. So I think that, of course, it's too early to say, but I would love to see what the participation and the voting of women, is in the final result. Because, women voters, and I know this from 2010 and 2015 when I was there, is that they are terrified of they're a little scared of the RJD. There is the Dabang factor. There is the Yadav Raj factor. There is the Bahubali factor. There is the much more reassuring presence, of Nitish. Well, the JDU, of course, is gone. But I still think that, the women vote and which way women have voted in this election is going to be quite significant. I think that's something we need to perhaps look out for.
Unfortunately, Sagarika, you're quoting the women's lead over men for the NDA based on exit poll results. So I think that's a problem.
Yeah, but
you can only find out turnout of women. Just 1 second now. You can only find out turnout from women, and that is higher than the turnout from men, which is wonderful. But how they voted, it's a secret vote, and you have to rely on opinion polls and exit polls. And they're wrong. So we'll have to
wait and see which
theorize.
way towards the end, which way the women, perhaps that could make a difference to the ultimate outcome.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I think
can
Lalita
I just come in here?
Kumaramanglam has a point to make.
I'd like to add to what Sagarika has said, that the women's vote has started seriously to count. When remarks are even unconsciously made that a particular politician is catering to the women voters, it is with the fact that today women are coming out to vote in larger numbers than men more often than not. across India. This is not just about Bihar today. I'm saying this is across India.
Yes.
And in this, I agree with Sagarika. Perhaps you may think surprisingly so. But at the end of the
first time ever.
I mean, once, not first time ever, very often on women's issues, but perhaps not politically so. But in this case, I think you'll find that increasingly, as the number of women voters increase across India, women's needs need to be met, whether it is in terms of socio-cultural empowerment or economics or whatever it is. Increasingly, political leaders will have to take this into consideration. And for this, I am personally very happy.
Pranoy, before we take a break.
Wonderful.
Pranoy, just a second. Before we take a break, talk about the numbers changing. Just look at the numbers again. Now the gap between the BJP and the RJD is just 5. It's 68-63.
Right. But 128, 104.
Overall gap is
but I think, as Yogendra says, still a lot, but it's narrowing a little bit. So let's just, maybe Shekhar, there's a reverse bump. Have you ever heard of that? Okay, we'll take a break now, and when we come back, the whole situation will have changed. So look out for that. Take a break and then come back to Shekhar.
Some time.
Welcome back. Shekhar, you were saying something, and on top of that, do you have a question for Yogendra?
Well, the question I have for Yogendra is that there's been always a fantasy. Okay, I'm giving away the question. If the question is, has Bihar, is it a Bihar, is it a caste plus election in Bihar? Is such a thing a possibility in India, a caste plus election? And why should anybody be so defensive about caste being a factor? Because identity is a factor everywhere in politics. And the second question I have for Yogendra Yadav is about the Congress. That does the Congress have any future in the Hindi heartland unless it can get some of its upper caste vote back? Congress has been focusing so much on getting back its Dalit vote and Muslim vote, etc. But if it doesn't get any upper caste vote back, then it really can't stand up to the BJP, because, say, in a state like Bihar, Congress's allies would have expected it to take some upper caste vote away from the BJP. But if the Congress can't do it, then Congress is underperforming and under-delivering as an ally.
I agree with the first part of what Shekhar said, which is identity politics is there all over the world, and this time we saw it in the US as well. So we have no reasons to feel particularly embarrassed or ashamed about it. In US politics, it matters all over the world. Where you are born makes a difference to how you vote all over the world, or how you think about politics. So that's true. On the Congress specific, I'm very happy that I'm not in that enviable position to have to advise that party. But my own sense is that old Indira Gandhi style politics of upper caste plus Dalit kind of coalition, that doesn't exist anymore. That possibility is closed for this Congress of today, because BJP has very effectively captured that space, and BJP has captured that space again with caste. We forget that caste matters for BJP as well. It is the biggest upper caste vote bank in the country right now. So BJP has very effectively captured that vote bank, not in the name of caste, but by combining it with Hindutva and nationalism. That would be very hard for Congress to recover. The space Congress has is to go, and because it's a national party, still a national party, at least in name, not just in name, I mean, it is a national party in many ways. The space it has is to recover that other thing of Indira Gandhi, namely to try and recover the vote of the poor, to become party of the have-nots, party of the downtrodden. That, to my mind, is the space Congress has. But now that I have the mic, can I say something else, which is somewhat foolish to say at this point, because NDA seems clearly ahead, and Mahagathbandhan is at least 23 seats below them. I'm still surprised. I'm surprised not merely because opinion exit polls said so, but because historically exit polls have underestimated RJD and other parties. Also, because once in an election it starts swinging one way, things go all the way in that direction. And once things started swinging in favor of Mahagathbandhan, I personally thought it was going all the way. So I'm doubly surprised. And as I said, it's somewhat foolish to say it at this stage.
I agree with you.
But
I agree
it is
with
surprising.
No, I think it's very important to say it at this stage because things may change again, and it is very unusual for a switch like this. And it's happened in all the channels and everybody reporting it's exactly the same change, but it could change again because we are trying to look at the margins that people are leading by, and they are very, very narrow. They're under 1,000 in many, many constituencies. So one can expect things to change. And clearly the momentum, as you say, completely doing a U-turn is most unusual and needs to be questioned whether that will continue or not. And as you said, exit polls, underestimating the BJP is generally, it's exactly the opposite normally. And all the exit polls actually tended to show the Mahagathbandhan ahead. So all these factors
and
make
the momentum, Dr. Roy, that
really
I was speaking of, the momentum I was talking about was the momentum.
Go ahead, please.
Momentum during the election campaign itself. All of us would recall the elections began with BJP completely, supremely confident of sweeping it. Mahagathbandhan did not want the elections to take place at this point. But then things started swinging in favor of Mahagathbandhan from all the ground reports, all the poll reports. And once the actual ground momentum shifts to a political party, usually it goes all the way. Counting may still be an artifact. Counting may be an artifact of how things are being reported, where we get into leads and so on. But on the ground, there was no doubt that the momentum was going towards Mahagathbandhan. That's why I'm somewhat surprised by what we see. But maybe Dorab may have something to tell us about how robust these leads are at this moment.
You know, we haven't done them. And the thing is that they all go in the same direction, except for one. That is the only thing that makes you feel that the polls are about right. But you know what happened in America? All the polls showed that Biden was winning in the swing states. And then, you know, either he lost them or that the margins were much too high. And this is a very tight fight. So if the margin is wrong by 3 or 4%, I think you're gone. Another point I'd like to make is that on an average, there are about 120,000 people who vote in a constituency out of 2 lakhs. Now that many vote, there are 16 rounds. So 7,500 people per round, say on an average. Now in that, if 200 seats have counted fewer than 4 rounds, they've counted relatively small number of votes. So I think we have to vote. I think within an hour or so, we'll get the average number of rounds moving beyond 8 or 9. And by the way, the bump comes, Pranoy, if at 90%, you're at 35%, you end with an 11% bump after the 90%. That's what the book says.
Wow.
But I think, the polls I really cannot, after seeing the American polls and so many of them, and Nate Silver and everybody who's got so much more experience, they all went the same way, but another 5% swing this way, and the NDA has won. So I think we just have to wait and watch.
I think.
But what's interesting is that, by the way, Yogendra, the opinion polls showed the BJP winning because they were done a month before, and everybody said everything changed in the last 4 weeks. But the opinion polls, people will be saying, we told you, and the exit poll people, I don't know, it's just like, I've never seen this sort of thing before. And the story isn't over yet. I think your health warning, Yogendra, is very essential.
That's right. The story is not over yet. But when I heard Dorab say that about 200 constituencies may have counted 4 rounds. 4 rounds should be substantial. 4 round cannot be merely one-sided. If it was just 1 round, Dorab, I would say it's very shaky. But 3 or 4 rounds is not too bad, assuming that they are somewhat randomly distributed.
Prannoy?
About 150
right.
of
Let's
the
just go. Just go out of the studio for a second to.
Prannoy,
Sure.
Sorry, just 1 second. Before we go to Alok, we've just got some information from our election desk where there are 23 seats where the margin of votes is less than 1,000. The margin is less than 500. I beg your pardon. Less than 500. 23 seats where the margin is less than 500.
Wow. That can change any time. And 23 seats going one way means a 46 margin difference. Let's go across to Alok. Give us a sense on the ground of how moods are changing. The whole picture seems to change every few minutes. Alok?
Well, it does. It certainly does, Dr. Roy. The crowd has thinned here, that I must say, from what it was, say, about an hour ago or 2 hours ago. There's a big production van, a channel has a big production van there, so that's why there's a huge crowd there, or some crowd there, with the news anchor there. But to this side, you have mostly now media people who are giving their lives here. The gates to Lalu Yadav or Tejasvi Yadav's home have not opened since this morning. There was earlier an expectation that maybe at some point of time, a big leader, Manoj Jha is inside. Prem Gupta, who's been with Lalu Yadav for a lot of time, he is inside. Tejasvi is inside. Tej Pratap is inside. So there was some expectation that maybe one of them would come out, maybe address the supporters, speak to the supporters too early, but maybe just, to give their supporters a glimpse of the leaders they would come out, but that has not happened. To this side, there are some other people who've come, mostly a trickle of supporters who've come. But many of them now, like I spotted this group of youngsters and I was waiting to see that if maybe I could just speak with them, but I did notice that they also walked away to a distance after a while, maybe to have a glass of ganne ka juice. But I'm still going to try and walk a little ahead, Dr. Roy, if you just bear with me, and try and see if I can still spot a few people who are still trying to make their way to this side. And I saw this group of youngsters. आपका क्या नाम है?
जी, मेरा नाम है प्रिंस यादव।
प्रिंस, अभी भी आप विक्ट्री दे रहे हैं, लेकिन अगर अभी देखिए 12 बजे का समय हो रहा होगा मेरे ख्याल से,
और अभी हम लोग बराबर पे हैं, 117 आ रहा है।
अच्छा, चलिए मान लीजिए हमारे जो ndtv.com है उस पर 128, 103, 104 आ रहा है, लेकिन मान लीजिए कोई नहीं, क्या आपने ये उम्मीद की थी कि इस समय आप इस स्थिति में रहेंगे? कल तक तो स्वीप की बात हो रही।
जी, होता है, चुनाव जब होता है तो कुछ फर्स्ट सेशन में हम लोग आगे थे और सेकंड सेशन में हम लोग थोड़ा पीछे हैं। अब जो अभी शहरी क्षेत्र का पिटारा खुला है, जब गांव के कोर वोटर, जब हम लोग के देहात के जो वोटर हैं, वो जब पिटारा खुलेगा तो हम लोग बहुत आगे जाएंगे और हमारे भैया तेजस्वी भैया सीएम बनेंगे।
ये तुम सबको कैसे पता कि पहले शहर का पिटारा खुला है, बाद में गाँव?
नहीं, बताया जा रहा है हम लोग को, जिस अनुसार से सूत्र आ रहा है, खबर आ रही है कि हम लोग का गाँव का शहरी क्षेत्र का ही अभी न्यूज़ दिया जा रहा है। गांव में अभी नहीं गया है। गांव का जैसे ही खुलेगा तो 40 लाख मजदूर जो हमारे दिल्ली से और कहीं से बिहार जो आए, उनका जीत होगा। वो हमारे तेजस्वी भैया को सीएम बनाएंगे। बाढ़ में जो परेशान है वो हमारे भैया को सीएम बनाएंगे। हर एक गरीब जनता, अमीर का छोड़ दीजिए, गरीब जनता हमारे भैया को सीएम बनाने के लिए तैयार है और हमारे भैया सीएम बन रहे हैं।
पिक्चर बाकी है
जी, हमारे अभी तो पिक्चर बाकी है, अभी तो ट्रेलर चल रहा है अभी। जी, शुरुआत है अभी,
बहुत लंबा ट्रेलर चल रहा है।
जी, बिहार का चुनाव है, इतना आसान तो नहीं हो सकता है, समझना होगा। जी,
थैंक यू प्रिंस। So there you have it. Prince telling us that he feels that he's still hopeful and that picture अभी बाकी है, अभी ट्रेलर ही चल रहा है, लेकिन काफी लंबा ट्रेलर चला है, कब तक चलेगा ये कहना थोड़ा।
Okay, it is definitely true that we are seeing somewhat of a ebbing of the mood outside Tejasvi Yadav's house, but again, it could all spring back up. But just one point I wanted to very quickly make about the BJP, in looking at one of the reasons why they seem to be performing perhaps the best out of all the parties, other than the caste factor, is if their ground game remains as it always has, the booth management.
Right.
That's something which we tend to often neglect. And that's where they score above all parties. We've seen this in election after election, that even if Tejasvi can build up a hawa or a mahol, he may not be able to match that level of booth micromanagement. And remember, Prannoy, this is an election where they've managed to pull this off without an active participation of Amit Shah. He was largely absent. It was JP Nadda, in a sense, who was leading. And so that's something they'll be, you know, if these leads remain, they'll be quite happy with that. But let's just go across. Our colleague Sanket Upadhyay spoke to senior BJP leader Kailash Vijayvargiya about his take on the lead so far.
हमारे साथ कैलाश विजयवर्गीय जी हैं। मैं आपको अभी बधाई दे सकता हूं या थोड़ा रुकूं?
थोड़ा रुक के दें, अच्छा रहेगा। हाँ। पर बधाई का सिलसिला चालू हो गया है। हाँ। और कंफर्टेबल मेजोरिटी आई है।
तो आपको क्या लगता है, क्योंकि बात तो बड़ी हो रही थी कि एक एंटी इनकम्बेंसी है, जो पलायन किए हुए मजदूर हैं उनका रोष है, तो आपको लगता है ये सब प्रभावी मुद्दे नहीं रहे?
देखिए, काम नीतीश जी का बहुत अच्छा था और दुष्प्रचार के कारण थोड़ा सा वोट जेडीयू का जरूर कम हुआ है। मुझे लगता है कि मोदी जी का जादू है, स्ट्राइक रेट बीजेपी का बहुत अच्छा है और यदि जेडीयू और बीजेपी के स्ट्राइक रेट पे देखें तो बीजेपी का स्ट्राइक रेट बहुत
अपने 2015 की परफॉर्मेंस से भी बीजेपी 21 सीटें आगे है। आपको क्या लगता है ये ऐसा क्यों हुआ बिहार में? मोदी जी
सारे देश के अंदर आप देखेंगे बीजेपी सब जगह आगे है, मोदी जी का इफेक्ट तो है।
इसको आप पूरी तरीके से मोदी जी का इफेक्ट मानते हैं? लेकिन अभी क्योंकि जेडीयू की सीटें कम हैं, मुख्यमंत्री कौन रहेगा? एक बड़ा सवाल ये उठेगा अगर ऐसी स्थिति आती है।
देखिए, नीतीश जी के नेतृत्व में हम चुनाव लड़े हैं और इसलिए अभी तो मैं यही कहूंगा कि नीतीश जी मुख्यमंत्री बनेंगे और शाम तक परिणाम आने के बाद क्या राजनीतिक।
अभी तक आप यही करेंगे, लेकिन तो चुनावी वादा था कि वही रहेंगे
ना, मैं कह रहा हूँ ना, अभी तक तो मैं कह रहा हूँ आपसे।
अच्छा, एक आपके होम स्टेट से बात कर लें, मध्य प्रदेश से क्या रुझान आ रहे हैं? आपको क्या लगता है वहाँ पर शिवराज जी बने रहेंगे?
वहाँ पर लगभग 28 में से 18 सीटों पर आगे चल रही है बीजेपी।
ठीक, कैलाश जी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। ये थे कैलाश विजयवर्गीय, बीजेपी के वरिष्ठ नेता। नई दिल्ली से संकेत उपाध्याय, एनडीटीवी।
Okay, early doors yet at BJP headquarters. Kailash Vijayvargiya quite restrained. Pranay, let's just look at once again that close seats with narrow margins. I think we can put that up on the screen.
Right.
And I think those are 500 seats, or I beg your pardon, sorry, less.
500 votes, yeah.
500 votes.
Same things, votes.
This is what happens, yeah, you get up at 7 in the morning. So it's seats with less than a 500.
Okay. Yeah.
5,000 vote margin, 500.
That's why actually there are a couple of issues in this. This is very interesting.
Yeah.
And Dorab, if I'll just bring an important issue in here, and that is a local channel in Bihar who is generally a little more on the ground is saying 117, 118. All the national channels are basically saying exactly the same as us, 130 to 102. But a local channel is 117 to 118. So I think Yogendra's warning, one should really take heed of that, that it's very strange that exit polls, A, should totally underestimate the BJP, generally they overestimate, and B, that this sudden change that happened, unusual, all possible, and then finally your warning that there are still lots of rounds to be counted. So if you look at the margins seats here, they're so narrow if you look at the graphic that Vasu's put up.
120 seats have a majority of less than 5,000, and the odds are most of them have counted 3 or 4 rounds out of 16. So it is early days, though one cannot deny the trend. But the question, it is early days. And, you know, I'd be much happier seeing a trend after 8 or 9 rounds have been counted. And the substantial leads then things can start moving in one direction. No doubt there is moving the BJP's way as of now. Whether it happens 2 hours later, we don't know. Got to wait and watch.
But could it reverse the trend?
But we're faster than the Americans, so don't worry. You won't have to be here tonight.
But right now, though, Pranay, the gap is almost 30 seats. The gap is almost 30 seats.
Yeah.
Could a trend that wide, could a gap that wide also be narrowed?
All depends. No, the thing is,
correct.
It is, generally not, but even the trend that we saw earlier got totally reversed in the matter of about 15 minutes.
Right.
That's also very unusual. So, how the counting is done in Bihar, very often, and most states actually, it's not randomly counted. It's polling booth by polling booth. So you can go from one party strong area to another party strong area as your counting goes on. So yes, things can change. Even this wide margin can change, because don't forget, it's just 14 seats to change hands. 14. Because 14 less and 14 more makes it about equal, 117 each.
Sure.
So it's not 30 seats, it's 14 seat swing. And that can change, but the probability is higher that it will carry on like this. But there is a probability and a possibility that it can change, yes.
Okay.
As Dorab says, lots of counting to do.
Okay, so it all depends, basically, is what you're saying.
And what you were saying earlier, 20 seats with a margin of less than 500, Vasu, now it's 25 with a margin of less than 500.
Okay, so the marginal seats are going up.
Yeah. That's
okay.
Pradeep
Kumar, BJP MP from Araria is with us. Ek second, I think we're just getting his headphones back. Pradeep Kumar ji, मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
जी जी आवाज आ रही है.
जी जी जी. प्रदीप कुमार जी, थैंक यू.
वेलकम सर.
ठीक है,
थैंक यू. आप हमारे साथ जुड़े.
जी जी.
तो इस वक्त तो लग रहा है कि आप लीड पर हैं. हो सकता है आगे पीछे डामाडोल हो सकता है, लेकिन अभी इस वक्त आप काफी कंफर्टेबल लीड पर हैं. लेकिन जेडीयू काफी पीछे चल रही है. तो वही सवाल जो हम बाकी जो बीजेपी से हैं उनसे भी पूछ रहे हैं कि क्या आपको लगता है कि जेडीयू नीतीश कुमार को चेहरा बनाना क्या एक गलत डिसीजन था आपका? क्या ये आपको भारी पड़ सकता है?
देखिए, हम तो निश्चिंत हैं. ये हमारा अपना विचार है और विश्वास भी था कि 100% हम लोग कहीं पर, आज 2 दिनों से हम लोग देख रहे थे एग्जिट पोल, लेकिन हम लोग चूंकि जमीन के अंदर काम करते हैं और भरोसा था कि निश्चित रूप से हम लोगों को फुल मेजोरिटी की सरकार बिहार में पुनः बनेगी, और आज वह दिखता जा रहा है. जहां तक
जेडीयू अगर आप कह रहे हैं इतनी अच्छी पोजीशन है, तो जेडीयू क्यों इतनी पीछे चल रही है? 20 सीट से डाउन है.
देखिए, पीछे चलने का बहुत सारा कारण है. हमारा जो गठबंधन में जो फूट हुआ, हम मानते हैं कि आज हमारे जो इंडिया गठबंधन के जो फूट हुई, और जहां जहां उनके सीटों में हमारे सहयोगी रामविलास जी के जो चिराग पासवान जो उम्मीदवार दिया, उनसे भी क्षति हुई है हमारी. जी, यह मेरा मानना है व्यक्तिगत, कि जहां पे
इंटरेस्टिंग आप कह रहे हैं
जहां पे नीतीश जी लड़े थे, वो सभी सीटों में लोजपा का उम्मीदवार था, और हर जगह अगर वो 5,000-10,000 वोट काटता है तो निश्चित रूप से वही 5-10 हजार से ही हाथ ही 2,000-4,000 से होती है. तो इसका बड़ा नुकसान है.
So what you're saying is, so just to ask you a question on that, so what you're saying is not a drop in popularity of Nitish Kumar, it's just that his votes were divided because of Chirag Paswan. Even, as you say, 10,000 votes, and if he only fought in JDU seats, I think that makes it clear. Normally, alliance perform more or less similar. It's very rare that one party is up and one party is down, and it's very unusual, like in this election, that LJP or a smaller party fights only in one lot of constituencies of one part of the alliance. So I think you're absolutely right. It is a cut in votes caused by Chirag Paswan.
Pradeep ji, आप
sorry, carry on.
जी बतावें.
नहीं बस यही नहीं, वही प्रणॉय यही कह रहे थे कि जो आप कह रहे हैं साफ साफ कि लोजपा के वजह से डैमेज हुए नीतीश, लोजपा ने इतना डैमेज कर दिया नीतीश को।
देखिए जैसे हम अररिया में हैं, ठीक है
जी,
अररिया में लोजपा लड़ रही है और वह जेडीयू लड़ रहा है, जेडीयू लड़ रही है और लोजपा। अगर यह 5-10 हजार वोट लोजपा काटती है तो वही 2-4-5 हजार से हमारी हार हो सकती है, जीत हो सकती है। इसी तरह का बिहार में जितने सीटों पे लोजपा लड़ी है तो उसका नुकसान हमको थोड़ा दिखता है, लेकिन बिहार की जनता जो 2005 से पहले जो कुशासन देखा है और जो नीतीश जी के नेतृत्व में हम लोगों ने बिहार में जो विकास का काम हुआ है, किया है, उसका भी एक बड़ा असर था। महिलाएं मतदान जम के की है, क्योंकि हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी का भी जो कार्यकाल रहा है उनका असर बहुत बड़ा था। तो लोग जो है भाजपा है तो भरोसा है, और जो डेवलपमेंट जो देखा है देश हित में, राष्ट्र हित में, और बिहार जो 2005 से जो पिछड़ा था, जहां जंगल राज था, उनको देखते हुए लोगों ने मतदान ठीक ठाक किया है। इसलिए पुनः जो है मतदाताओं ने वोट दिया है और फुल मेजॉरिटी सरकार बना।
Very important points, and I just want to bounce this off Shekhar. Shekhar, if the BJP had kind of controlled Chirag Paswan and not allowed him to cut into Nitish's votes, and if they had fought together, the NDA could have got 150 seats. Because all the seats that Nitish is losing could be, and we have to look at the data much more closely, purely because of Chirag Paswan cutting into his votes. Even if it's a few thousand, a few percent here or there, it makes a huge difference. So, I think, did they really want to cut Nitish to size and took this big risk and it's paid off? Or, I mean, it's just amazing. They could have got 150 seats.
I'm not quite sure, because it looks like, well, if this result endures, if this result is sustained, then it is actually LJP which has gone like a human bomb and detonated itself without causing too much damage to the other. Maybe a few splinters, because 50 plus seats for Nitish Kumar is not the destruction of Nitish Kumar. But if LJP is left with 4 or 5, which nobody needs, because that 4 or 5 has to have some value. If it is 4 or 5 with no value, why would the BJP even accommodate them in the center? So if this trend continues, then the party that has lost out most of all is LJP.
But you know,
very interesting. Yeah.
Just,
sorry, go ahead.
I think you're right to say that we should wait for the data to see whether it's really the LJP that is hurting Nitish. Because remember, the LJP has never had a very strong base in Bihar. It's just 2 to 4% party. So whether they were able to manage to damage Nitish in so many seats outside of their core areas is something, I think we should just be a little cautious about that before we arrive at that conclusion.
But it does seem to be, it's very, very unusual, Vasu, that one part of the alliance, because they are fighting all seats together as BJP plus JDU. And it's just such a coincidence that in the JDU seats, the LJP stood. And even 1,000 or 2,000, you can lose a seat quite easily. So, I mean, of course, we have to look at that's what we started by saying. But it could be that rather than a decline in popularity of Nitish, because that, if there's a genuine decline in popularity, it will be seen in the entire alliance, all the electorate.
But I just very quickly want to say,
candidates, they don't distinguish that much.
I want to very quickly say that when we were traveling on the ground, we did find that, I know what you're saying, that is very unusual, but we did find that unusual, almost schizoid response from voters. They were very angry against Nitish, but they were much more forgiving of the BJP.
You can always tell Vasu, on the ground you can always tell moods and issues.
Yeah.
Very difficult to predict percentages, and journalists generally should not try and predict who's doing well or not.
But
issues and all that and feel of the election, very important. I agree. That's. But you know, as you say, by this evening we'll have the data. Sorry, go ahead.
Dorab, yes. Dorab.
If you look at the, don't forget that the LJP got many BJP rebels to join them. They got Brahmin rebels to join them. So LJP candidates were not the standard candidates. They picked up candidates from the BJP very often, and they put strong candidates. And I wouldn't be surprised if there is, I said, we don't know longer-term game plan. Was this a game plan? I mean, is he a stalking horse?
Right.
Is he a Trojan horse? To weaken the LJP, to weaken the JDU to such an extent that it collapses as a party without Nitish. You see, don't forget, Nitish doesn't have an heir.
Right.
So it's a one-man party in a way.
Well, let's just
all kinds of
very
equations
good
are
point.
possible.
Let's just go across to Manish. Okay, just go. Let's go across on the ground in Patna to Manish. Manish, just explain to us the counting in Bihar and how these sudden change happened from the Mahagathbandhan leading to the NDA leading. What do you make of it?
Dr. Rai, I will once again suggest that let's have caution the way all the politicians, whether it's from Mahagathbandhan or NDA, are somewhere they are just still trying to on the safer side, because this time, Dr. Rai, you have to understand the Election Commission increased the polling stations by 63%. Till the last election, there used to be around 65,000 polling stations, which gone up to 1,06,000, over 1,06,000 polling stations. But in comparison to that, the counting tables at the counting centers has not been increased because of Corona. So the number of EVMs have gone up, the polling stations gone up by 63%, but at the same time, the counting centers, the tables, the number of tables remained which was there in 2015 or 2019. That is why till now it is hardly 25% to 30% votes have been counted so far. And so nobody is just in a hurry to call the elections. We spoke to some leaders in BJP as well as in RJD. They are saying that please wait till at least 60% votes have been counted. Dr. Roy.
Right. Very interesting, actually. The number of polling stations going up, almost doubling. Wow, that will have an impact on the counting process. And on top of that, this uncertainty of narrow margins that Vasu was mentioning. I just wanted to ask you one more thing. I don't know if you've seen it. One local TV channel is still saying about 118 each. So we're not 100%. We have a graphic up of the very, very narrow margin. So the point you're making, Manish, is very good, that the counting is really at an early stage, and under normal circumstances, by this time, much more of the vote would have been counted. And everybody's being cautious. And I think Yogendra and all of us are also being extremely cautious about the current trends. Yeah.
So
we get some vote shares coming up in a minute. Here they are. Here it's NDA 39%, MGB, Mahagathbandhan 37%. But again, only in 163 seats. Number one and number two early rounds because of, as you said, so many more, and because of Corona, no further increase in the number of tables for counting. If we look at the individual party vote percentage shares, let's have a quick look. For 39 to 37. Yeah, wow.
RJD?
Well, that's RJD, all three at 23%. That we've got right. They all confirmed. Yeah, it's corrected. RJD marginally ahead of the BJP in vote share, and the JDU 15%, 6% behind the BJP. On slightly larger number of seats, so that's actually a bigger. That's how 21 plus 15, 36%. But all this will change. I would say vote percentages are just very, very indicative right now. But Manish, again, is there some local channels and local reporting calling it a much closer fight?
Manish? Okay.
Oh, his line is...
We'll just get him in a second.
Vasu?
Prannoy, just 1 second, if it's possible to just go across. Gaurav Vallabh of the Congress has been with us throughout. I don't think we've had a chance to go to him at all.
Yes.
Because it's important to also look at...
Oh, we should, yeah.
Yeah, sorry Gaurav Vallabh. It's important to look at what is exactly going on with the Mahagathbandhan and why they're sliding. One of the reasons is the Congress. Congress is only leading in 21 of the 70 seats. The CPML is actually leading in 13 seats. So they're doing very well. The left parties are doing well. The Congress, Gaurav Vallabh, seems to be pulling the Mahagathbandhan down. Again,
Vasu,
should you have even fought 70 seats?
Vasu, one by one I will answer your question. Number one, out of 4.5 crore votes which got polled in the state of Bihar, till now, 50 lakh plus votes got counted. So it's 11% votes for the entire state. The counting is done, number one. Number two, Vasu, I was watching NDTV only 1 hour back, and I'm quoting exact time. It was 10:45 at that time. The tally was exactly opposite. So in 1 hour, the things had changed. So wait for some more time. And my thumb rule for the corona voting is that make the voting 2 hours back. So if it is 12 o'clock, just assume at pre-COVID level, what were the situation at 10 o'clock, the same is coming out. As per my workers, what inputs I am getting from our workers, till now, 40 seats, total 40 assembly seats are those seats where the margin is less than 1,000. So wait for some more time. In most of the constituencies, there is either 2 round or 3 round. And mind it, there are 22 rounds. In most of the constituencies, there are 22 rounds because of the increase in the number of EVMs, as rightly pointed by one gentleman in the show. And second, the number of seats or the number of tables at the polling station had not been increased. So coming to your question directly on Congress tally, I am telling in last 45 minutes, I was watching our tally. It had reached to 26, it had reached to 19. It's more like a BSE Sensex, Vasu, that the real-time data it is moving because the margins are very thin, and I am very hopeful.
22 or 26 out of 70. That's the problem.
Vasu, this is the data which I am giving for 45 minutes. But 1 hour back, we were at 33 also. We were at 34 also. So wait for some time. I'm not saying that something good or something bad. Wait for some time. It's a 2 hour. I'm telling 2 hour lag is there because of COVID if we compare today's counting with the pre-COVID level.
Okay. All right. Wait and watch. We shall do that. We shall be patient. We'll take a short break and come back.